Okay, folks, got a quick video for you here tonight. This is going to be the Schrade SCH 302, I think it says. Or maybe it's a 303. 303, I think. This represents a new product line for Schrade. Would go in the usage of heavy duty tactical folder, heavy duty use folder. You'd be pushing it to of course any knife can be used for tactical use, but get a look at that grind on that blade. It's kind of interesting. It's got a titanium painted finish on the, don't know how tough that is. Probably better than just a painted coating, but not up to DLC coating standards. But this is quite a bit of knife for the money. Dual thumb studs, very thick blade stock here. Stainless steel liners, very thick liners. Standoff construction, open pillar, open in the back. Easy to clean. It says right on there SCH 303, the plain edge. They make 4 or 5 different iterations of this particular style. They make a Tanto blade, and they make one with the crosshatch pattern on the handles. If you wanted one, so it'd be a little better for tactical use because of the crosshatch pattern. It'd give you a little better traction. I imagine this one here would be slicker than snot if it had, you know, water or blood on it or something, especially blood. I would imagine this thing would be pretty hard to hold on to. So, but it is a good hard use folder. The main drawback to this knife is weight. This thing is about 8 ounces, so it's a heavy knife. Kitty, stop that. Sorry about that. Anyway, another drawback on this knife, of course, is pocket clip is only one orientation, which is okay. Even if you're left-handed, you could put this in your left pocket. It just would be, you'd have to flip it over once you got it out of your pocket. But here again, don't know that tactical use is really the main use for this blade, so deploying it quickly probably. I've done some research, and this is a 9CR18, and both from the way it looks and the way the edge feels, and from what I can tell about the metallurgy, this is very similar to 154 CM. So this is an outstanding buy for the money. I paid $22 with shipping for this knife. And I'm going to bring up the only other negative about this knife other than weight and the pocket clip just being one orientation, and that is this clip here is kind of a funky place. It wants to come down right in the hole, right in that hole where the lock engages, you know, the slot for the lock. That thing wants to come right down in there, and it wants to scrape up the finish on there. But I suppose it does kind of make a jerry rigs you know, so you don't overextend the lock, which I have done on knives before. Us tough guys got to be careful not to overextend our locks, and so that's why those little discs they put on to keep you from you know, probably is a good idea. Under stress, it'd be pretty easy for a guy like me. I have pretty good sized forearms. It'd be pretty easy for me to bend that too far and spring the lock, and if you do that, your knife's worthless until you disassemble the knife and put it back together, bend it, you know, back into shape. And once you do that once or twice, you're going to lose the tensile strength in your lock, and it's going to probably bust. Let's compare this real quickly to, this is about a $140 blade compared to a $22 blade. Now this would be better in tactical use. It has a little better blade shape for tactical use with the recurve, the kukri style edge, and much better handle, secure grip handle, especially for a medium-sized hand or small hand like mine. This fits real good. A guy with a larger hand, you know, this can get a little bit, this might be a problem here. But for somebody like me, it's like it was made for me. So this is, of course, the zero tolerance 0200 military folder. But very similar knives, and this is about a 1/4 inch less blade. But I would say, just from looking at them, metallurgy on these blades is probably very similar. They look almost identical as far as the way they feel. The edges are very similar. I like 154 CM. You'll notice a lot of people that know what they're doing that make tactical blades. Some of your better designers, they tend to really like 154 CM. This is a 154 CM blade here, and this is definitely meant to be a military or tactical folder, zero tolerance offering. So, and then you've got Elshowitz. He prefers 154 CM for tactical and military applications, and so does Ernest Emerson, which of course, you know, that's saying a lot there. So you've got some pretty well respected designers that seem to like the 154 CM. And this is a similar steel. This is the Chinese variant. It may not be quite up to the standards of the 154 CM, but I'm going to tell you right now, if you can't afford 140 for the zero tolerance, this is a lot of knife for your money. I don't think you're going to beat this for $22. This is definitely a hard use folder. Like I say, of course, any good sharp knife you can push into tactical use. This, of course, would not be my first choice because of the slippery handle. But this knife has a hell of a lot going for it, for the price that it's selling at. Probably the best value in this type of knife that you can get anywhere. So kudos to Schrade. This is my first Schrade product. I bought it because of the value they're delivering to the customer for the money. Very happy to see this quality steel on a value priced folder. And as you can see, these people that are charging, you know, most of these blades in this size that are 154 CM or this quality, you're talking $150 for a blade like this. This is the very first offering I know of that offers this quality of steel. And I'm not saying it's quite up to the same standard as this, but I'm saying it's close. It's a very similar steel. I can tell by examining the steel that they're very similar in their composition and the way the edges feel. I can tell they're very similar steels. So this is first time you've been able to get a blade, especially a massive blade like this. This is actually thicker blade stock than the zero tolerance. Arguably, it's not double as thick, but it's close. It's at least a third thicker. It's not quite as long a blade. You've got more cutting surface with the. This is about a 3.8 inch, and this is about a 3.5 inch blade. But nice thick piece of steel, though. So anyway, this is not going to be a 35 or 40 minute video on this. I'm already up to 10 minutes, so just wanted to give you a look at it. Of course, it's not a liner lock, it's a frame lock. So similar to the, probably that's Sabinza designer. It's the one who kind of came up with the frame lock, I guess. But the lockup's very good on it. I don't know if you can see that, but it's early, but not too early, is the way I'd like to call it. I don't like them too early. I like it to be over just so that the edge of this side of the frame touches on the, you know, on the, so it's got a good solid piece of steel backing it up all the way across, but not too far, you know, so it's got room to wear in. And this one's perfect. My ZT is also perfect. in that regard. I sent this CT back for service though, because I didn't like the way I got it from the factory. It was the pivot was too tight, and I had trouble getting the thing loose. They told me that sometime in production they put permanent Loctite on them because they run out of the other. That's probably what they did, because I couldn't get the pivot loose, so I sent it back, and this thing came back. Man, it's really smooth now. But actually, this isn't too bad. The detent's kind of stiff on it. It's got a good detent, but it's a little bit stiffer than I like. But I would imagine you can hear how nice that locks into place. It's a nice firm lockup, but it's a nice little blade. Nice little blade for the money. I don't think for the money you can't beat it. I think just about everybody ought to own one of these for 22 bucks. And one reason I invest in these knives is in case shit does hit the fan. You know, you can't eat gold, but I imagine tools like this are going to be hard to get a hold of. Probably would be pretty good to barter with for food and water if you needed to. Probably be as good as cash or better. I don't think cash would be worth much in that scenario. So that's one reason why I go ahead and invest in these. And I'll tell you right now, for an investment of $20, a guy couldn't hurt to have 2 or 3 of these around in his drawer, just in case. Anyway, very nice blade. Schrade, good job, buddy. Good job. Anyway, that's going to end this video. Thank you.